Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our honored guest, Speaker Nancy Pelosi, North Carolina Governor Ray Cooper, members of the North Carolina delegation, Senator Richard Burr, Representative David Price, Representative Patrick McHenry, Chief Randy Moore of the United States Forest Service, Mr. Brett Blanton, Architect of the Capitol, and Youth Tree Lighter Kachi Miko Tiger, 4th grade student from Cherokee, North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brett Blanton, Architect of the Capitol.
Good evening, and welcome to the 58th Annual Christmas Tree Lighting Ceremony at the United States Capitol. I am Brett Blanton, the Architect of the Capitol. I can tell you, I can't think of a better evening to have this ceremony. The sunset earlier was just absolutely amazing. I'm honored to be here this evening as Speaker Nancy Pelosi lights the 2022 Capitol Christmas tree. We are also honored to host Kachi Miko Tiger, this year's Youth Christmas Tree Lighter, and a citizen of the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. Lighting of the Capitol Christmas tree has been a festive tradition since 1964, and it's one we are glad to continue. We're pleased to host the 78-foot red spruce tree nicknamed Ruby. This beautiful tree comes from the Pisgah National Forest in western North Carolina. American forestry can actually be traced back to this region. It was in this area, known as the cradle of forestry, where Guilford Pinchot was hired to manage the forests around the Vanderbilt estate in the late 1880s. Pinchot, who later became the first chief of the U.S. Forest Service, was recommended by Vanderbilt by Frederick Law Olmsted, the father of American landscape architecture and the designer of our Capitol grounds. It is very fitting that a tree from this important region now graces the west front lawn of the U.S. Capitol grounds. I'd like to thank the U.S. Forest Service for finding and providing this beautiful tree for the U.S. Capitol. We truly appreciate their work each year to find a perfect candidate to serve as the people's tree. Thank you to everyone involved who helped make this festive tradition a success, including my team at the Architect of the Capitol and the North Carolinians who handcrafted all of these ornaments that decorate the tree. We truly appreciate your efforts to help bring this holiday spirit to Washington, D.C. It is a pleasure to welcome all of our distinguished guests this evening, our Capitol Hill neighbors, and those of you visiting Washington, D.C. Thank you for coming to celebrate this most wonderful time of the year at the United States Capitol.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Randy Moore of the United States Forest Service.
Good evening. Speaker Pelosi, distinguished guests, thank you for the opportunity to say a few words on behalf of the Forest Service and USDA in general. Each year, the Capitol Christmas tree comes from a different state, from a different national forest. This tree this year comes from the National Forest in North Carolina. The tree is a red spruce from the Pisgah National Forest, and it comes from the spruce fir forest at the highest elevation in the southern Appalachians. The theme for the tree this year is From the Mountains to the Sea. It's a reminder of the tremendous natural and cultural diversity in North Carolina. From the Pisgah and the Nantahala National Forest in the mountains to the Uwharrie National Forest in the Piedmont to the Croatan National Forest in the coastal plains. This tree also honors the ancestral people who were first custodians of the forest it came from. The Eastern Band of the Cherokee Indians helped bring this tree this year. It's a reminder that we as people are diverse, that from diversity comes strength, strength as a people with common values and shared goals. So on behalf of the Forest Service and all the partners and volunteers who brought us this tree, I wish you a happy holiday season.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Roy Cooper, Governor of North Carolina.
Well, thank you. It's wonderful to be here celebrating the holiday season. And this year's selection for the Capitol Christmas tree, North Carolina, is on Ruby, the red spruce from the Pisgah National Forest. Madam Speaker, Senator Burr, Congressman McHenry, Congressman Price, Kachi, the entire North Carolina delegation, I appreciate the invitation tonight. My wife, Kristen, the First Lady of North Carolina, is here with me. We enjoyed being at the White House last week when President Biden pardoned 2 North Carolina turkeys from the Thanksgiving table, with the President asking for our turkeys and Congress wanting our Christmas trees. We only need a holly wreath for the door of the Supreme Court to claim the holiday cheer trifecta. It really is an honor to represent North Carolina here tonight, for our state to play such a prominent role in our country's holiday celebrations this year. In North Carolina, we are home to rich natural beauty, hard-working, creative people, and vibrant, diverse communities. We're a reflection of our great country, and we are at our very best when we come together to celebrate, reflect, and look forward. Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the holidays mean a lot to North Carolinians. And we've always appreciated the role that our state plays in helping Americans celebrate. Just as this magnificent tree traveled to Washington from North Carolina, millions of trees every year find their way from the Tar Heel State to communities and homes across the nation. North Carolina is the second largest producer of Christmas trees in the country, meaning that for millions of Americans, North Carolina will forever provide a touch of Christmas magic. That's a gift that we are so fortunate and grateful to give. The holidays are always a special time of year, but particularly during hard times, when families and communities face struggles and challenges, Christmas and the holidays can be a reminder of our real priorities, our shared values, our friends and family, and hope for the future. The last few years have been tough for Americans and people around the world, but while we face these numerous challenges, I'm confident that our nation is poised to move forward stronger than ever. So this year, I hope Americans everywhere will take a moment for themselves to be with friends and family, to appreciate life's many blessings, and to feel confident in the opportunities that lie ahead. I'm excited to join this event tonight, and I'm hoping for a Merry Christmas and a wonderful holiday season for people all over this great country. And I'm excited that with Ruby looking out over our capital, North Carolina can offer a little more Christmas magic for everybody. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable David Price, Dean of the North Carolina Delegation and representative from the 4th District of North Carolina.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening and welcome to the U.S. Capitol Christmas tree lighting ceremony. We're happy to be joined by the architect of the Capitol, representatives of the Forest Service, Madam Speaker, Governor Cooper, my colleagues in the House and Senate, and of course by Kachi Tiger and his family, who in a few minutes we're going to see Kachi flip the switch. North Carolina, as has been said, is home to 4 breathtaking national parks, national forests, from the mountains to the sea, Croatan, Nantahala, Pisgah, and Uwharrie. And I'm going to add a 5th because across the state line, Pisgah becomes Cherokee. And that happens to be where I grew up, with the Appalachian Trail bisecting those 2 national forests. This is a great natural treasure, and it's entirely fitting that as we look at this beautiful tree and what it symbolizes, that we also rededicate ourselves to the preservation of our natural resources for generations to come. This is the This is, of course, not a new thing for North Carolina. We've furnished the tree before. It's been a while. But in doing this, we recognize how many Christmas trees are grown in our state, something like 850 Christmas tree growers. They produce 50 million trees on over 38,000 acres of land. That's second in the country. I don't know who's first, but that's pretty good. We really are in the Christmas tree business, but of course, people growing these trees, harvesting these trees, delivering these trees bring joy to millions of households. So I'm very, very happy to be here with Ruby, to be here with all of you, and to honor this occasion. We, of course, are honoring the spirit of the season, the goodwill, the diversity, the inclusion that are the values we hold dear. And we're also thinking about future generations, so that our natural resources, the treasures that we've inherited, will be passed along intact. So, in the spirit of the season, thank you for being here, and thank you for letting us honor North Carolina in this very special way.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Patrick McHenry, representative from the 10th District of North Carolina.
Well, Merry Christmas, everyone. What a beautiful night, and what a beautiful gift that we all get to share in this wonderful bounty together. As a proud North Carolinian, I want to thank the governor, our senators, our congressional delegation for being here for this special occasion. 1 in 4 Christmas trees in America are grown in North Carolina, and they're shipped to every state in the Union. That is a special thing that we get to give to the rest of the country. And it is a special thing that we get to recognize those hardworking men and women that grow those trees in western North Carolina. And I'm proud to be here to say thank you to a great 10th District of North Carolina business, the Hardy Brothers Trucking in Silo, and the husband and wife team of Ed and Deborah Kingdon that did such a great job. Thank you so much for bringing the tree here and with such care and making sure that it was set up so wonderfully. I want to thank all the men and women that work on the Capitol grounds to keep this place as beautiful as it is and to make sure that we have such a beautiful tree that stands through the holiday season. Finally, it is an evergreen tree, and that's a sign of everlasting life, and that is a special thing that we need to remember at this Christmas season as well. I thank you so much for being here this evening. Merry Christmas to you all, and have a wonderful night.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Richard Burr, United States Senator from North Carolina.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Speaker, Governor, my colleagues, Chief. In North Carolina, Christmas trees do signify Christmas. But, Madam Speaker, they also signify ACC basketball. And we're at the start of that, and that will carry us through this Christmas season, I can assure you. I'm honored to be here tonight as part of this year's festivities at our nation's capital. I want to thank the Forest Service and the many people involved with the hard work to make this happen. For decades, the Capitol Christmas tree has brought Americans together by highlighting the beauty across this country. From Six Rivers National Forest in California, where last year's tree came from, to the stunning Pisgah National Forest in North Carolina, where this year's tree just arrived. We're blessed with forests that are second to none. At almost 80 feet, the spectacular red spruce not only exemplifies the beauty of Appalachia, it serves as a reminder to Americans of the magnificence of this country and all we have to be grateful for. I'm proud that this year's tree is from the great state of North Carolina, and I know that Senator Tillis, who's also here this evening, is just as pleased as I am. Time and time again, our Capitol Christmas tree reminds us of the importance of working together to be good stewards of our environment so that future generations can enjoy the bounties of our forest at Christmases still to come. I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Washington Performing Arts Children of the Gospel. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the United States House of Representatives.
Good evening, everyone. It is the most wonderful time of the year with the beautiful music and lighting of Ruby tonight. Speaker of the House, it's my honor to welcome all of you to the Capitol to participate in a proud, patriotic tradition, the lighting of the Capitol Christmas tree. Thank you to Governor Roy Cooper. Thank you, Governor, for being with us, and the North Carolina delegation. Senator Burr, Senator Tillis, I understand, is here. Other members of the delegation, certainly Congressman McHenry, and our distinguished member of the House, David Price. It's so appropriate that we are able to light this tree from North Carolina as one of his last gestures in Congress as he goes home. Thank you, David. And thank you, Senator Burr, for recognizing that last year was the California tree. We were happy to hand it off to North Carolina. Again, thanks to Randy Moore, the Forest Service Chief, and to Brett Blanton, the architect of the Capitol, for making so much of this possible, and for all of you who are responsible for carrying the tree here, for getting it here. We're all in your debt. Let us applaud the United States Navy Ceremonial Band for their welcome. Thank you all so much. And the Washington Performing Arts Children of the Gospel for blessing us with their beautiful music. Thank you all so much. It's a thrill to be joined today by our youth tree lighter, Couchy, a citizen of Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians, as has been mentioned. Couchy Tiger is a winning essay, shares a moving story from Cherokee heritage about the origin of the mighty evergreen trees. After creating all plants and animals, our Creator asked them to fast, pray, and stay awake for 7 nights. But at the end, only a few were still awake. The trees that stayed awake were rewarded with the ability to keep their leaves year-long and with special healing powers. It is a story of faith and gratitude, of hope enduring through the dark night. And it's hope that we celebrate each holiday season, that through the cold and dark winter, spring will someday come. That's why, in a moment of dismay and discontent nearly 6 decades ago, Speaker McCormick had an idea to place here a national beacon of hope, comfort, and joy. And ever since, in times of war and peace, hardship and prosperity, the spectacular Capitol Christmas tree has brought the American people together. Each year, this cherished tradition unites Americans from all corners of the country, from the communities it encounters as the tree travels from the National Forest to the Capitol, to the families who make the privileges here for the lighting of this dazzling tree, for all of those who've made these beautiful ornaments. It's a thrill today to be joined by our youth tree lighter, Couchy Tiger, a citizen, again, as I said, of the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. This year, the People's Tree is 78 feet tall, red spruce from the picturesque Pisgah National Forest in North Carolina. This glorious tree is wonderfully decorated to reflect this year's theme, From the Mountains to the Sea. It calls to mind a timeless patriotic tune, God Bless America, from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Indeed, the People's Tree embodies these lyrics, a symbol of our nation's greatest strengths of beauty, diversity, and unity. So this holiday season, as we behold this magnificent tree, it is magnificent, and its shining lights to come on now, let us summon that deep patriotic spirit and join together as one. Now I have the great honor of bringing forward Couchy Tiger. He won the contest, the essay contest. This is our VIP of the evening. And to join me at the podium and to read your winning essay. Couchy, the stage is yours. Let us welcome him.
Shio Nigado Zale Heliga Zizedo Ha Kadzi, Dagwadoa, Nole, Zigiduwagi, Nole, Chanel, Iagodate Tierra. Nankine, Zia, Adzegidua, Di Deleguasti. Gailani, Aquatansha, Zishkohi, Di Guenasha. Di Gugi Gaili, Gadi Nole Zenazi, Do not doa. Zostafanuds, Shalagugi, do doa. Hello, everybody. I'm glad we are all here today. My name is Kachaji, and I am a Gadoo person, and I am 9 years old. I am in the 4th grade at New Gadoo Academy. I am from Cherokee, North Carolina. My parents, I am from Cherokee, North Carolina. My home is in Birdtown, Zishkohi community. And my parents' names are Katie and Kachaji Tiger. And my brother's name is Shalagugi. And now, I'm going to tell you about the Cherokee legend of the evergreen trees. The forest has 2 types of trees, the evergreen, which keep their leaves and stay green all year long, and the deciduous, which lose their leaves in the fall. Cherokees explain how this came to be. When all the trees, plants, and animals were created, they were asked to stay awake, to fast and pray for 7 nights, to honor Unathanahi. The first night they all stayed awake, but the second night some fell asleep, and the third night more dropped out, and so by on the 7th night only a few were still awake. Of the animals, the owl, Ugugu, the panther, Zenazi, and a few others were still awake. These animals were given the power to see and go about in the dark, to make prey of the birds and animals that must sleep at night. Of the trees, the spruce, like Ruby, the pine, the cedar, the holly, the hemlock, and the laurel were still awake to the end. Unathanahi gave these trees the ability to keep their leaves and stay green all year long, and the power to be medicine for the Cherokee people. Therefore, these trees are sacred and used for medicine by the Cherokee people to this day. I hope you enjoyed the story, and thank you for allowing me to share a part of my culture with you. I am honored to be here to represent my tribe, my community, and my family. Shki.
Very good. That was great. That was great. Please, members of the new North Carolina delegation, please come forward so that we can all watch Couchy turn on the light. Here we go, Couchy, right here. And now we're going to do the countdown for the lighting of this marvelous tree. You ready? Start with 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That is a great.
That was awesome.
Good one.
Christy? Where's Christy? She's coming
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brett Blanton.
Is Christy here? You said she was here?
Thank you for coming out to tonight's ceremony and joining Speaker Pelosi, the governor of the great state of North Carolina, the North Carolina delegation, the Forest Service, the United States Navy Ceremonial Band, and young Couchy in lighting the U.S. Capitol Christmas tree. I wish you all a healthy, happy, and safe holiday season. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain in place for the departure of the official party. Thank you for attending the United States Capitol Christmas tree lighting.